Munyadeli maodo mega oka joya Matira gane dara Gane dainoka Munyadeli maodo mega oka jokelia
Atoweta wangaye Mono moya Weta beba Ebu Munyadeli maodo mega Ayo mkono namlai Ino ibitu Beba Munyadeli maondo mega Aya tuzea hapa kidogo Aya tuende namlai Mama tuende upendo wa Yesu zunguka tuende Ati kwa mama aya tuende upendo wa Yesu zunguka tuende Mama tuende zunguka wanizunguka wapi nduru ya Kindiki wewe fire si fire hey wanizunguka mama upendo wa Yesu wanizunguka mama wimbi twende beba twende madije wanizunguka mama wimbi twende upendo wa Yesu wanizunguka weka mkono juu zungusha twende embu wapi mikono twende mama wimbi upendo wa Yesu wanizunguka mama wimbi energy aya inua sasa inua hivi juu fire si fire siwaski fire si fire aya tuende right inua hivi embu hivi watumishi wako ni wako chini yote waombayo juu ikiwa umependezwa chini uwa mwalo hakuna wako lipinga hakika wewe ni Mungu zunguka kidogo zunguka na hivi zunguka energy tumeona twende hivyo wewe umetuzua wapi nduru ya Kindiki wewe haya chini kasema nakumbuka hii haya mahali uko sasa soma kidogo weka energy aruka mahali uko namai twende Yesu Kristo akurita kuokoe ati wachane na dhambi ya kuokoe wewe wachane na dhambi ya kuokoe wega piga makofi na mama Bwana Yesu waita hivi waokoe muachane na shetani hata nyinyi energy waokoe muachane sema newega sudu aya nataka makofi kwa Bwana Yesu wapi nduru ya Kindiki nego kena ayuno makofi twende mikono Hivi. Twende. Upendo wa Yesu. Hapo mama wimbi. Upendo wa Yesu. Wanizunguka eti. Hapo mama wimbi. Upendo wa Yesu. Wanizunguka kidogo, zunguka kidogo namna hii. Zunguka. Twende. Tutamkuwa ready. Oh mama wimbi. 2 minutes. Upendo wa Yesu. Wanizunguka. Twende hebu. Oh mama wimbi. Upendo wa Yesu. Zunguka kidogo namna hii na maringo. Weka maringo kidogo. Wapi nduru ya Kindiki ndani ya nyumba wewe? Kindiki. Kindiki. Twende. Weka mkono twende. Kindiki. Twende. Sisi ni jenzi tumetoka Kenya, tupenda Kindiki. Sisi ni jenzi tumetoka Kenya, tupenda Kindiki. Sikia, tupenda viongozi wa kwanza Kindiki. Pili ni Ruto. Haya, hebu are you ready? Energy. Hebu are you ready? Are you ready? Nionyeshe tu tambasi. Uko sawa? Upendo wa Yesu wanizunguka. Haya, hebu. Are you ready? For the gift blessing. Hold the republic. Kindiki. Wapi nduru ya Kindiki? Haya, ruka na twende. Tutam. Kindiki. Haya, ruka. Haya, weka juu namna hii. Hivi.
Vijana mnataka nini? Na wazee mnataka nini? Kwa mama mnataka nini?
Ama namna gani?
Vijana mnataka nini? Na wazee mnataka nini? Kwa mama mnataka nini?
Unyenyekevu usisemi kwa sababu DJ
nikisema tu
ala leo ni leo, msema kesho ni tutam. Embu hoye, Embu hoye, vijana hoye, vijana power, Vijana fire. Ni fire si fire. Ni noma si noma. Mbwekse si mbwekse. Wacha nione Embu wakisema ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse. Ni mbwekse, ni mbwekse. Uko nyuma mbwekse, uko nyuma mbwekse, mbwekse, mbwekse. Wacha nione tutam, alama ya tutam, alama ya tutam, alama ya tutam. Alama ya tutam, alama ya tutam. Tutam, tutam. Panda hii tutam, tutam, tutam. Hey. Naomba tuketi jameni. Very good, asante sana. Kwanza kabisa niseme asanteni sana vile mfika hapa. Nyinyi kama vijana kutoka Embu County, mjisikie mko nyumbani. Hapa ni kwenu kwa sababu nyinyi ni majirani wangu. Ni kweli si kweli? Si nyinyi ni majirani wangu? Kwa hivyo mko nyumbani. Leo nimesema mfike hapa muone mahali Deputy President anaishi. Ndio siku ingine watu wakitoka mbali, ndio ile siku watu watatoka mbali huko Busia, wengine watatoka Kwale, wengine watatoka Loitoktok, wengine watoke Moyale. Wakifika area hii wakipoteza njia, wewe ndio wakuonyesha kwa sababu wewe uko nyumbani. Ama namna gani jameni? Ya pili niseme wale ambao labda hawajafika hapa, wale ambao wame siku ingine hapa, siku nyingi si mtatembea hapa. Hata wakati even if I'm not here, mnapangana mnakuja hapa, mnatembea hapa. Kama namna gani? Mna enjoy, mnajinice, mnachukua ma selfie nini, mnakula, mnakunywa, kwa sababu hapa ni kwenu. Kweli si kweli? Niseme vile vile, hey, naona hii ni fire ya ukweli. Ni fire si fire. Ni fire si fire. Ni fire si fire. Ni noma si noma. Ni noma si noma. Ni mbwekse si mbwekse. Ni mbwekse si mbwekse. Ni tutam si tutam. Nikisema harambee mnasema tutam. Harambee. Harambee. Bas, kwa hivyo leo ilikuwa nataka tujadiliane mambo machache. Kwanza nimesema karibuni. I hope mmepata lunch kidogo. Ama bado? Bas, wale bado tutaendelea na mambo ya lunch. Tutakaa hapa, hatuna haraka ya kutoka hapa. Ama namna gani? Leo nimetumana nikasema vijana kutoka Embu mufike hapa tuongee. Wengine wenu tumeongea, lakini wengine wenu bado. Na leo mkutano wa leo tumejumuisha vijana ama youth kutoka vitengo mbalimbali, kwa sababu vijana ni vijana. Haijalishi ile kazi wanafanya, haijalishi wale wako shuleni, haijalishi wale wako kwa biashara, haijalishi wale ambao ni wasanii. Vijana ni vijana. Changamoto zao ni sawa sawa. Mahitaji yao yale wanahitaji serikali wafanyie ni mahitaji moja, kwa sababu vijana wako na miaka mingi kuliko wazee hapa duniani. Kwa hivyo wako na interest kubwa nchi yetu kuwa mahali pazuri na iwe na uchumi bora, kwa sababu hao ndio wataishi kuliko wale ambao kama sisi ambao tumezeeka. Sababu Mungu ameumba hivyo, ule anakuja baadaye duniani ndio anakaa kabla ya kuondoka. Kama namna gani? Si kuna wale wako karibu kusafiri na wengine bado miaka kidogo waende. So mimi nataka nianzie hapo, niwaambie hivi vijana na mnisikize vizuri, mimi nikiwa ndugu yenu mkubwa na kwa wale wadogo nikiwa baba yenu. ya kwamba msikubali watu wazima au watu wazee ambao wametumia wakati wao, wamekuwa na biashara, wamekuwa na kazi, wengine wameenda retire, wengine wamejifanyia mambo mengi, wameelimisha hata watoto wao. Msikubali sisi ambao ni wazee tuwaharibie taifa la Kenya, kwa sababu hii taifa, nyinyi bado yale mambo ambayo tumeyafikia sisi, nyinyi bado hamyafikia. Hata wale wako na familia, watoto ni wachanga, wengine bado hamjapata familia. So you need a good country, a peaceful country with a good economy, so that when we finish college you can get a job, so that when you finish what you're doing, if you're in school, even if you don't need a job, you want to go into business, you'll find a situation where it is easy to start a business. Kwa hivyo msikubali nchi ya Kenya iharibike, muilinde kwa vyovyote vile, kwa sababu nyinyi ndiye tegemeo la taifa, nyinyi ndiye tegemeo la jamii yetu. Nasema hivyo, najua hapa tuko vijana kutoka vitengo mbalimbali. Tuko na viongozi wa wanafunzi ambao wanawakilisha comrades. Ni kweli si kweli? Comrades power. Comrades power. Hawa comrades, tuko na viongozi ama wawakilishi wa wanafunzi wa vyuo vikuu, tuko na wawakilishi wa wanafunzi wa colleges za katikati, tertiary colleges kama TVETs wako hapa, lakini pia tuko na vijana ambao labda hawako shuleni saa hii, wanajifanyia mambo ya kutafuta riziki, labda wamemaliza shule, wengine wako kwa creative economy, wako katika mambo ya usanii, mambo ya uigizaji, mambo ya content creation, mambo ya kujitafutia riziki pale kwa mitandao na teknolojia ya kisasa. So we have performing artists, youth in the creative economy, we have youth in universities, youth in tertiary institutions. Here we also have youth from Embu County who are engaged in business. It doesn't matter the nature of your business. A business is a business. And nobody should discourage you, or nobody should make you look small because you're of the nature of your business. Kuna vijana hapa wanajitafutia riziki in the transport sector, ya matatu, ya taxi, ya tuk-tuk, boda-boda. Pia ni kazi jameni, because that's where you get your living from. Ni kazi. It's better to have that kind of business than to have no business at all. We can talk on how to support you to expand that business so that it can have better returns. But it's better to have that business than to have no business at all. So we have all manner of young people here in the creatives, in the business sector. And that business, kuna watu wako pande ya transport, wengine wako na biashara ndogo ndogo, micro businesses. Wengine wako na kaduka kake hako kufanya shoe shining. Hapo ndio anatoa pesa ya kulisha yeye na kulisha jamii kama ameoa, kama ako na familia. So young people, I want to encourage you today that you have a bigger stake in the progress of our country than the older people, because you have a longer time and you will spend more time than the older people. So don't allow those of us who have had our time to spoil the country for you. Vijana hoi. The country must be peaceful. The country must be stable. The country must continually reduce the number of jobless young people and people without opportunity. We must continually tackle unemployment and lack of opportunity. The country must be peaceful, as I've said. It must be good for business. And the country must expand. The economy must continue expanding for you and your children so that you will find opportunities in life the way we also found opportunities when we were young people. So it is a very important thing you have to do. And most of all, the country must be free from violence, from corruption, and from the things that make our country slide backwards. Na msikubali. Be good stewards. Ask the hard questions, especially to those in authority. All of us who are in leadership, ask us the hard questions. Demand for us better services. When you think we are not handling public affairs right, ask the questions. But I plead with you, as we make our country better, because there is no perfect society anywhere in the world. All countries have their own challenges. Some countries are dealing with unemployment, others are dealing with ethnicity, others are dealing with racism. So there is no perfect society in the world. So as you ask questions that are meant to help our country have a better governance system, a more accountable system, a corrupt-free society, a responsible leadership, ask those questions. But in the process, don't allow people to manipulate the national challenges to incite young people to destroy their own country. Because if you destroy the country, then it will defeat the purpose for which you are asking for better governance, because there will be no country to govern in the first place. I say that because recently I saw a bit of disquiet, and I said the issues that the youth of Kenya are raising about employment and equity and the need for us to fight ethnicity, the need for us to fight corruption, those are good questions. But they cannot be an excuse to destroy businesses, to burn people's shops, and those people have nothing to do with the issues we are fighting. People trying to make a living somewhere in town. Somebody has gotten a bank loan, has set up a shop, is using that shop to educate their children. Then because of issues about leaders, not even about the people, they get their shop burnt down. That is not right, because we are destroying our own investment, our own wealth. Let us express our views. Let us challenge the things that are bad in our society, but let's keep the country safe. Let's keep the country with a good business environment so that you as young people, you can inherit a better country and take it forward in the years to come. I also wanted to take this chance just to highlight a number of things that the government is doing to support the dreams of young people. Because many people are talking out there, and sometimes some of the things that people are talking are not true. Let me start by saying that, as I said, youth, there are youth in business, there are youth in colleges and universities, there are youth who are in the creative industry, and all young people, they have a common dream. And the common dream is that their education, their talent, their businesses will give them income so that they can raise up families and also get empowered as citizens. That is the dream. Whoever is doing a business, hiyo biashara imsaidie. Whoever is in university, they want to get a job, serve the nation, but also get income. Those who are in the creative industry, they are using their talents to also earn an income. So, as an administration since 2022, we've been thinking deeply on how we can build on the past successes of Kenya to make Kenya better and more successful. And I want to assure you, where we are today is not where we were in 2022 when President Ruto took over. We made some progress. It may not be as fast as we wanted, but definitely we've made some progress. What are we doing to empower young people and to create more opportunities for young people to realize their dreams? We noted in 2022 when we came into office that one of the biggest challenges we have is employment and income opportunities for young people. We realize every year about 1 million young people leave this education system at different levels: primary, secondary, tertiary, university. Total, about 1 million leave the education system. But we realize the economy is absorbing only a quarter of those who are leaving school. About 200,000, 250,000. And that is not good, because over time, if 100 young people leave the school system and only 250 are absorbed, 750 will be left hopeless without opportunity. The following year, the same. The following year, the same. Over many years, we have accumulated a large number of young people that could have an education, but they don't have an opportunity to use that education. Could have a talent, but that talent cannot give them income. So they are there, they have talent, they have education, but they have no opportunity to make money and get an income. And that's not good for the country. And we have come with deliberate programs to reduce the number of unemployed, jobless young people so that we can tackle unemployment and lack of income opportunity head on. Remember, as I have said, this problem of unemployment has not started in 2022 when President Ruto took over. It is an accumulation of many years. And many political leaders have always been saying, we have a problem with unemployment in Kenya. We have a problem. There are no opportunities for young people in Kenya, but they don't come with a solution. Okay? While we all appreciate we have a challenge of creating adequate opportunities for young people, very few people, if at all, have sat down to reflect what are the pathways that can help us reduce the number of young people that do not have income opportunities. We realized, for example, in 2022, for the comrades in the university, the tertiary colleges, we realized we have a big number of university graduates who have no jobs. Many of them in the teaching profession, but others in other disciplines. So we came with an expanded employment program for those university graduates who have studied education or health sciences or other disciplines, so that we can expand the number of graduates we are absorbing every year. Because of time, and I have quite a bit of speech to give, let me just exemplify using those comrades who have studied education. We realized that there were about 300,000+ unemployed teachers. They are qualified to teach primary school, secondary school, they are unemployed. That is almost half of the number of teachers we have. In other words, we have about slightly over 300 teachers employed and another 300,000 unemployed. And every year that number is increasing. I'm just giving teaching as an example. And we realized every year the government of Kenya has been employing between 4,000 and 5,000 teachers a year. But those who are graduating are much more from our colleges. So we are increasing the number of unemployed teachers, and the opportunities we are giving them are quite small. You graduate 20,000 or 15,000, you absorb only 4,000. Over the years, the number has accumulated. So what did we do? We decided to expand the recruitment of teachers. Instead of employing 5,000 teachers every year or 4,000 teachers, we have employed in 3 years up to now 76,000 teachers. In December, in 3 years, by December, we'll add another 24,000. If you add what the government of President Ruto has employed in terms of teachers, and these are youths who have left university, they have started teaching. By December this year, we will have clocked 100,000 teachers. Since independence, between 1963 and 2022, the number of teachers in primary and secondary school employed by government was slightly over 300,000 teachers. For 60 years, Kenya had deployed 300,000 teachers. In 3 years, Kenya has employed 100,000 teachers. So the number of teachers by December, when we hit the 100,000, the number of teachers employed by this government in 3 years is almost a third. It's almost 30% of all the teachers ever employed over 60 years of Kenya's independence. That way, over time, we are reducing the number of unemployed young people in the teaching profession. I've just given teachers as an example, but we're also doing that for other disciplines. We are doing that for other disciplines. That is an example of a program that is deliberately tackling youth unemployment and reducing the number of qualified young people with no income, without jobs. So we are expanding the public sector to accommodate more graduates, not just for universities, but also for tertiary colleges. Allow me also, we realized also one of the reasons why many graduates from colleges and universities remain unemployed is because the courses they have studied are not aligned, they are not wired to fit into the demands of the market. You have a skill which is not required in the market. So we started by relooking at the curriculum so that for those who are your juniors in primary and secondary school, we'll prepare them for the market. When they come out of college, come out of school, they are job ready. That's why we brought in CBC. When we were campaigning in 2022, every county we stepped into, the parents of Kenya used to tell us, abolish CBC. It is burdensome, it is confused, it is giving parents a lot of responsibilities. Did you hear that noise around CBC in 2022? Everywhere they were saying, abolish CBC. Today, you will not hear a single Kenyan saying abolish CBC. Why? Why? On the first day President Ruto was sworn into office, he brought a presidential working party on education reforms, where he gathered professors and people in education policy, and even comrades were represented in that presidential working party, students, to work on many reforms on the curriculum, but also in the funding model for our institutions of higher learning. That presidential working party is the one that helped us fine-tune the CBC curriculum. And that is why the noise has gone down. Because children today are more comfortable, the teachers are more comfortable, the parents are more comfortable. We stopped burdening students and pupils with a lot of cramming, with a lot of, just forcing so many things on a child's head. That's not necessary. And we found out that for you older people, and for us, we were pushed too much for no reason. That's why the CBC at the tender years is very soft on the children. And the final exam is a very small component. They are assessed every day, every week, every month, every term. By the time they reach grade 6, when they do the first exam in quote, it's not really an exam, it's a test. Okay? They have already been assessed 60%. So that test will only count for about 40%. They go to junior school the same. So it's a softer way so that children can grow, not just cramming science and cramming history and cramming the other subject, but they have adequate time so that in these 10 children in one class, maybe only about 5 are interested to go all the way to university to study to be engineers and lawyers and teachers. Some of them, because they have a bit of freedom and a softer curriculum, they are gifted to be sports people, to be musicians, and because of that curriculum now, we have said by the time the children leave junior school to senior school, and we are going to senior school in January 2026.
Ndugu wananchi wa kutoka Turkana County, hamjambo.
By that time we'll have reduced the subjects, and the children will only concentrate on the subjects that relate to what they want to do in life, not to study everything. So we have a pathway called STEM for the children who wants to major in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics-related disciplines. Those ones will go to senior school and concentrate on STEM. Senior school, others will go there to study social sciences, because we still need social scientists. As much as we need engineers and doctors, we also need social scientists. We need psychologists, we need sociologists to help us live better with other members of society, and so forth. So, some will study social sciences in senior school. Others will study STEM. Others will study the sports, arts, and creatives. Music, performing art, for the 3 years they are going to spend in senior school. So by the time someone goes to university, they are very clear what they want to do for those who want to go to university. So that curriculum shift is a legacy so far of President Ruto's government, fine-tuning the curriculum to make it more adaptable and flexible, to allow young people to go into the future more prepared for the job market, so that we reduce the number of unemployed, jobless, young people going into the future. And over time, the new curriculum will help us solve this issue, because some of those who are talented in youth and sports, in sports and arts, will very early start concentrating on those talents, and I'll tell you shortly what else we are doing to support those kind of students, so that we have a whole of society approach to education. So we are reforming the education system. We realize the teachers were not enough, we increased. We realize the classrooms are not enough, we have built 23,000 classrooms in primary and secondary schools. 15,000 of them have been built by the Ministry of Education, 8,000 of them have been built through CDF, which is a national government fund. So we have better facilities. We are now commencing equipping the schools that do not have laboratories, especially schools doing sciences, and they don't have labs. There are many schools in rural areas where pupils doing secondary exams, their first encounter with a microscope in a biology exam is on examination day. And that is very unfair to that pupil. The first time to see a Bunsen burner, or what is the other thing called? A pipette. There was something called a pipette. Those things, okay? They encounter them on KCSE day. While in other schools, they have been doing laboratory work in Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4. So we are bringing equity in education. But the tertiary institutions for colleges, the middle-level colleges, we are working on the curriculum there. We have brought in the modularization of the curriculum in tertiary institutions. Modularization means if you are a young person doing business and you want to study for a skill in a TVET, you don't have to close your business and go and study. You can go to a TVET, register for one module for 3 weeks, study, get examined for that module, go back, continue with your business. When you get time, you come and do another module, and over time, you, in an almost part-time way, you continue with your business, but you also get your qualification when you have accumulated enough modules. Instead of saying, if you want to be a mason or a carpenter, you must close your shop and go and study in a polytechnic or a TTI until you finish. We have also brought in something called recognition of prior learning. Many young people are gifted by God in certain technical skills. So even before they go to college, you've seen very young boys, very young girls, they can make something, and they have not gone to school. Wengine wanashikanisha wires hapo, wire alafu anakuambia, have you seen those things? Just using their heads, they can tengeneza namna hii. So there are people who can even be carpenters, but they have never been in any polytechnic. Is that true? Naweza tengeneza meza, lakini hajaenda polytechnic. So we have brought something called recognition of prior learning. If you are already a mechanic, but you have no qualifications, we just take you to the nearest TVET for 2 weeks. We bring the assessors to assess the level of your knowledge, the level of your skills. In 2-3 weeks, if we are certain that you are as good as any other mechanic, we give you the certificate. And many young people today in what we call juakali, many of them have not been to any college, but they know how to work welding, dirisha, they can do something hapo. So we can recognize that knowledge. You just go to the college, we get assessors from government, they assess the quality of your knowledge and certify you. It's called recognition of prior knowledge. We have also brought in something called dual training policy and many other things which I don't have time to explain in the tertiary level. That's why you have seen in 2022 when President Ruto was sworn in, the number of TVET students across Kenya was much smaller compared to the university students. Yet, economists will tell you, you are supposed to have more students at tertiary level than those in the university. It's supposed to be a pyramid. Ours was inverted. You had almost 1 million students in universities and only 297,000 in TVETs. That's not good for the economy because you need more people with technical hands-on skills and fewer people with higher level supervisory knowledge to assist. But you need plumbers. The country is run by plumbers, electricians, masons. They are the ones who do the practical things. But we had more university students, almost 1 million, than tertiary institution students, 297. Today, in 3 years, we have moved the enrollment of TVET students from 297,000 in September 2022 to 720,000 today. By December, we want that number to go to 1 million. By next year, end of 2026, we want the number of TVET students to go to 2 million. That is one way of empowering young people and making them job ready. The dual training policy, for example, makes you job ready because it combines theoretical study and practical study. You cannot graduate from a TVET unless you have been attached in a practical industry, a practical business, doing something related to your area of study. That way you become job ready by the time you graduate, and so forth and so on. So that's what we are doing at the university level. We are fine-tuning the funding model of the universities because in 2022, many universities were going bankrupt based on the model we were using to fund higher education. Today, the vice chancellors will tell you the funding model we are using is better, and many universities that were in debt are slowly stabilizing financially. We have also said, as much as there are issues around the means testing tool